It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Showtime, Geno Jones Showtime. Coming to you live Monday through Friday, new start time. In case maybe you've been on vacation for the summer, right? You and the family, whatever. Maybe you just had to get up out of America, as my buddy Martin Williams says. America. Maybe you just need to take a break from just all the madness, all the MAGA madness. Anyway, so my new start time is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's about 7:31. 6:30 Chicago time, Central Time. So everybody, not just Chicago, from Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Chi-Town, St. Louis, Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, Little Rock, Arkansas, Dallas, Houston, Texas, stand up, New Orleans. Did I throw in Jackson, Mississippi? I need to throw them in also. Live in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and everybody on the West Coast. We do this thing now at 4:30 p.m. The Geno Jones Show has a new sponsor. Shout out to Kojo LLC, Courtney Johnson. She's a real estate expert and a commercial insurance expert. So if you're looking for insurance for your business, or if you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, Courtney Johnson, Kojo LLC, C-O-J-O LLC. I know she's on Instagram. I believe she's on TikTok. Facebook, Courtney Johnson. You can reach out to her, CCJ33, and I think that's Hotmail. Let me just do this again. Live TV. I love live TV. I just want to check to make sure here. Let's see here, Miss Courtney Johnson, and I want to thank Courtney. And by the way, if you would like to become a sponsor, if you would like to be a part of the Geno Jones Show family, and you can also reach out to her. She said you can give her a call, 843-543-4022. That's 843-543. So 843-543-4022. Kojo LLC. KojoLLC.com. There you go. That's the website to get all the information. CCJ33 at Hotmail. I had it right. So, KojoLLC.com to get all the information you need. Thank you, Miss Courtney Johnson. Everybody. Hey, Rosalind, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you for watching. I hadn't seen you in the chat room, but thank you. Do me a favor. Send out call to action. Send out the alert. Text your crew, text your people, everybody, your family, your friends, your sorors, if you're in a sorority, the church folk, everybody. Tell them, come on over to YouTube. The Geno Jones Show is live on camp. We are live in living color. Oh, yeah, and it's going to be fire. I'm just giving y'all a hit. Every monologue is fire, but it's going to be, it's going to be fire. Wednesday, I confirmed. Representative Ro Khanna, he is a representative. He's in the House, the U.S. House of Representatives, California representative. His district is District 117, which is Simi Valley. So, not Simi Valley, Silicon Valley. Thank you. Let me correct myself. I'm thinking about, I got Los Angeles, Simi Valley. That's a part of L.A. on my mind. Silicon Valley, so like the headquarters for Google and Apple and all these tech companies. I think Elon Musk or Twitter's out there, I know for a fact, or X. So I don't know if SpaceX is out there. No, he's in Texas. But all these tech billionaire, racist-ass billionaires have their corporate headquarters in this dude's district. And he's a Democrat. And he's been winning because he gets it. As a matter of fact, he was in town with a Representative Jonathan Jackson. Reverend Jesse Jackson's one of his sons, he's in the U.S. House of Representatives in my mother's district in Chicago, south side of Chicago, one of the south side districts. They were here in the Charleston metro area. So Representative Ro Khanna. So it's going to be a hot show. I'm really looking forward to having him. So thank you, Rosalind. I hope you've been doing well. Everybody else watching me, listen, the show is interactive. So please, you can, if you got a question, you want to start a conversation, you can join the conversation in my chat room right now. Just jump in there. And let me know who's watching. Let me know where you're watching. If you want me to shout you or somebody else out, whatever, birthday, anniversary, whatever the shout out is, you want me to recognize your son or daughter. Everybody's a lot, not everybody, but most folks are back in school or about to start, move in. Probably the last 3 or 4 weekends was move-in days. I've gone through that 8 times. Twice with Boogie, twice with Allie. And I got some stories. Woo, I got some stories, especially that freshman year for Boogie. Man, and that hot freshman, Clark and Spellman, and I guess Morehouse too, but I know Clark and Spellman, this was like 2004. So they had like freshman dorms. And it was like an old project. It was like this cement brick building with no air conditioning. And it was about 200 degrees in Atlanta that day. And unfortunately, Boogie's dorm was all the way up on the 3rd floor. And I got trunks and everything, and I'm like lugging and dragging this heavy stuff, and it's like 1,000 degrees outside. I will never forget that. But it was fun. It was a hell of a lot of work. Allie was a little different because, Columbia College, and she was in a student housing. It was like an apartment. They had these big, look like tanks, these big containers that you could throw a human in. So it was a little different. So I want to shout out all the parents who have been a part of Move-In Day. I want to shout out to all the students that's back. We are going to have a feature, Geno's Academic All-Stars. I've been doing this on my radio show for 20 years now, and I started doing it the end of the summer. So it's going to be a regular feature here on the Geno Jones Show, featuring not just my current, but some of my past academic all-stars, like some of the ones that's finished college and now that are doctors and lawyers, nurses, political science majors, started their own businesses, entrepreneurs, just, working in the community, whatever they're doing. I'm really proud of these young people. So you will see them being featured on the show. So, all right, thank you, Rosalind. Hey, if you got a question, Rosalind, like I said, the show is interactive, everybody. By the way, call to action. First of all, 94, the count, 94 new subscribers to become a YouTube partner officially. That means my media company and this show will get a check. I believe you get like a monthly check. You get income from YouTube. So I'll get that YouTube bag. I've been called to action. I have grown, and I didn't have no major big-time celebrity with 2 million followers. It has been Geno grinding, hustling, and you all supporting me. So thank you so much. Call to action. So tell them I need 100. Technically, the actual number is 96. Last count was 904. 96 new subscribers. So just tell them 100. Really, tell them 1,000. Really, tell them 1,000. I go way, way over. So the show and my media company will become that YouTube partner. Okay, let's get the show started once again. Everybody, I see you watching. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. Please leave your comments in the comment section. That's so important because YouTube, they look at all that. Leave your comments. I want to hear from you. Even all you racists, y'all feel free. Now, I will block or delete your ass. But, but I want to hear from everybody. YouTube, we want to hear your comments. And if you got something to say, feel froggish. Jump in that chat room. Come with the foolishness if you want to. You can come for me if you want to, but if you come for me and I didn't send for you, I'm going to send your ass back to where you came from. Probably with a smile. Unless you really get sideways. Then you can F around and find out too. I'm just giving you a heads up. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. Because, oh yeah, you'll get dressed up and down. You'll get dressed up like a groom on his wedding day. Not in a good way. All right, so shout out to Denzel Washington and Spike Lee. I didn't get a chance to see the movie. It's not showing here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. I am talking about this big movie. I'm so excited. Denzel is doing a highest to lowest. So it's in limited release. I know it came out in New York. It's probably out in Chicago, Atlanta, maybe LA. So Denzel plays like this rich music label executive and a young man, not his son, not giving away the whole movie, but like a friend of Denzel's son. I don't want to tell you more because I don't want to give it away. But anyway, so Denzel's son's friend gets kidnapped. Now, I'm not going to tell you why Denzel's son's friend was kidnapped or how. I don't want to spoil everything for the movie. And there's also a connection to a brother named Jeffrey Wright, who I'm a huge fan. He was American, he was this author that wrote this book that had like all these racist racist tropes and racist stereotypes, racist tropes. And anyway, it became like this bestseller. I think it was American fiction. Somebody watching, I don't know, Roz, I don't know if you saw that movie, but he also played this Puerto Rican drug lord in the movie Shaft, not the original Shaft with Richard Roundtree, the one that came out like 2001 with Samuel Jackson, the first one. Because Samuel Jackson did 2 Shaft movies. The second one, it was with his son. But this is the first one when Vanessa Williams, she co-starred with Samuel Jackson. And Jeffrey Wright was the like Puerto Rican Dominican brother that was, I forgot his, I can't even think of his character's name. I know I can hear it like in the back of my head. But anyway, this brother Jeffrey Wright has been in so many movies. He's amazing. One of my favorite actors of all time. He is one of the great actors of our time. Denzel is, I could make an art the greatest. Definitely one of the greatest. He is the greatest actor of this generation, of our generation. No doubt, full stop. You don't agree? Good luck with that. Jump in the chat room. But anyway, I digress. So this movie came out, limited release, and ASAP Rocky, Rihanna's not just baby daddy, that's her man, that's her hubby. So it's a hubby and her baby daddy too, all in one. So shout out to ASAP Rocky. I hear that the brother did a good job. Even Denzel gave him his props and said he did a good job. So I've seen some of the trailers. You might have seen some of the trailers too. So shout out to you. Hey! Rick Party's Notebook. Shout out to my brother by another mother, man. I love you, man. I love you so much. Just thank you for being you. And I apologize. So Rick, and he brought 2 dynamic guests. So listen, you guys come back. I figured out what I did wrong, Rick. I'ma own it. I'ma own it. It was mostly on me. So I'm not gonna make any excuses. It's my show. So even with the technical stuff, the buck stops with me. But I figured out what happened because, you know, I've been on the frisk. But the enemy is busy. You know, I think the cult gets pissed off and they try to interfere with the show. I can't prove it, but, you know, because that heat is coming so hot, they can't take it. They're like, cut the power, but they can't cut the power. So they try to, you know, the enemy's always busy. So shout out to Rick Party's Notebook. Thank you, my brother. Looking forward to having you guys back. We did a tribute. So like the Friday before Whitney's birthday, which was a Saturday, like 2 Saturdays ago, did a tribute to Whitney. And then that following Monday, we did a tribute. And Rick brought a couple guests on, his talented sister and a very talented brother. So, and they're gonna come back because we're gonna have a similar conversation about the true impact of Michael Jackson, because we talked about the true impact and really gave Whitney Houston the flowers that she should be getting now. She should have gotten, because a lot of the documentaries focus on the trauma, and that's part of the story. But the majority of the documentaries and the narrative around Whitney is always centered around her pain and trauma and just, you know, which led to the drug use and which led to Whitney losing her life. But that's not the main part. Even with the trauma can't tarnish the greatness. Because Whitney Houston is one of one. One of one. And so is Michael Jackson. So we're going to have that conversation, Rick. So thank you, my brother. And tell my guests, and I'm drawing a blank right now, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to see, are my notes over there? Yeah, I'm cheating here. El Michelle and Jorgito Soul, and I'll make sure I spell his name right. I had just posted that, Rick, with the little title, I put like a little headline for like a theme for the show, and I had his name, and then like right after I posted it, then you texted me to correct. I guess you saw it, and it's like, oh, so Brother George, Brother Jorgito, blame it on my head, not my heart. So I'm looking forward to having El Michelle and Jorgito Soul and Rick Party back on in a couple weeks. Because Michael Jackson's birthday is coming. I think it's next week, Rick. I know it is. I think the 28th. So, all right, everybody. And everybody else watching, jump in the chat room. So if you saw Denzel Washington and Spike Lee's new movie with Denzel and Jeffrey Wright, jump in the chat room. Give me a quick review, what you thought about it. And don't forget, speaking of review, don't forget to please leave your comments. Whatever your comment is about this or every episode, please leave your comments in the comment section. That is so important because YouTube, they look at that. And when you're watching me live, jump in the chat room, leave your comments or your questions or whatever you got to say. Whatever you want to get off your chest, then get it off your chest. All right, now, you see, I'm thinking about D.C., and I got a lot I want to say, so let me just say what's on my chest. I see this National Guard. I see the National Guard being sent to Washington, D.C. Now, D.C. is unique because the District of Columbia, Washington, District of Columbia. So Washington, D.C., the D.C. stands for District of Columbia. So it's not a state, it's a district. And a lot of it has to do with the way the Constitution decided what Washington, D.C. was going to be. Because it's literally right there on the border. You got Maryland, you got Virginia, right there. They call it the DMV. So really you got more like Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. All kind of meeting right there, right? That's why they call it the DMV. So let me just slide over here. So Orange Hitler has, in the U.S. Constitution, in the U.S. Constitution, whoever is the president at the time has more control over the National Guard than a mayor. But now, constitutionally, each state's National Guard, their commander-in-chief is the governor. Like, shout out to Governor Westmore in Maryland. He said, look, what you're not going to do, you are not going to just gain control with this bullshit and just think you're just going to snatch up my National Guard. Now, in theory, I think the Constitution allows a president to federalize, but now if a governor can file a lawsuit, like Governor, my man out there in California, Gavin Newsom, because he had sent, Orange Hitler sent the National Guard and some Marines into Los Angeles. But they finally got him out there because they went to court, and the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, and the governor, Gavin Newsom, sued. It's like, listen, dude, can you follow the law? No, we know you a 34-time convicted felon. We know that you were found liable. Adjudicated means found liable in a civil trial of sexual assault. The judge said the evidence proved to him that Orange Hitler, you raped E. Jean Carroll. So you got all that. As a matter of fact, instead of releasing the National Guard, release them Epstein files, because all this is a distraction. So you got the National Guard in there, the D.C. National Guard. And here, our governor, there are two other Republican states with Republican, MAGA governors, because these not even Republican, MAGA. And we got a MAGA governor, I call him Governor Foghorn Leghorn. Henry McMaster, Governor McMaster. Governor, I'll say that, son. I'll say that, son, because he sounds just like Foghorn Leghorn. If you listen to this dude, if you listen to the governor of South Carolina talk, Rick, it's a character right there. He is a character. I mean, you would think this is like somebody doing a character of like a Southern governor. He is like straight from central casting from 1855 or 1825 instead of 2025. I swear to God, Rick, you're like, how'd you become governor? What was the last year of school for you? You get an application. What was your final year of education? I have 12th grade, 4-year college, post-grad. It's like, what was your last year of education? It may have on the 3rd grade. It's like, really, dude? So the governor of South Carolina, one of 3 MAGA governors, here in South Carolina, Governor McMaster sent like 200 National Guard to go to D.C. For what? To harass people, to harass young brothers in Southeast and Northwest D.C., to harass people for what? In a city that's seen a reduction in crime, 30%. A 30% reduction, not even nowhere near the top, not even in the top 20, let alone the top 10 most violent cities. This is a distraction. But I'm seeing this, and I'm gonna have a whole lot tomorrow, so make sure you tune in tomorrow, because we gotta have strategy and we gotta have a game plan. Because the cruelty, this is baiting. As a matter of fact, I saw a story in Seattle. So this young little racist MAGA white dude was challenging a black man who is a veteran, who was in a Navy vet in a wheelchair. You might have seen the video in Seattle. And this little punk ass, who I don't know if he even served in the military, because nowhere in the story did I see that this little punk ass, but even if he did, your little young ass probably must have just got kicked out of boot camp because you look too young to be any kind of veteran. So the black guy, this Navy veteran, was in a wheelchair and had an American flag stuck in the back of the wheelchair. So this little punk ass, bitch ass, racist ass, MAGA hater, colonizer, questions and asked the black Navy veteran bound to a wheelchair to prove that he had served in the military. Who the are you to ask this man to demand that he got to prove to your punk ass that he served his country? And the reason he is probably in a wheelchair is because of an injury or injuries he suffered fighting for your punk ass and this country. With all this racist, sexist, misogynist bullshit. And you had the nerve to question this man, to threaten this man, and then the little punk ass, you going a little bad, like you had like a purse, and then you step back and you shoot the guy in his chest. Thank God he survived. See, this is what's been unleashed. All the racism is on like steroids and human growth hormone and crystal meth and crack and cocaine, speedball, heroin. Because they see that kind of hate and cruelty and inhumanity coming from Orange Hitler out of the White House. So they figured that man, we got carte blanche. We can just shoot black folks and get away with it because Donald Trump gonna give us a pardon. No, you gonna mess around and something real bad is gonna happen to you. I'm just warning you to all you MAGA haters. You don't want what you think you want because it's not gonna end well for anybody. And anyway, you clinging on to this made-up con game called whiteness when these white people who are billionaires, they don't give a shit about you. They don't see you as equal to them. Don't give a damn about you not having no melanin. You really think, why do you think they build gated communities? Do you think these billionaires give a shit about these ignorant ass, poor and working class, hateful racists, colonizers? No, dumbass, wake up. This whole construct of race, it was created because they knew some of you all would be stupid enough to just get sucked into it. It's like catnip. And in the meantime, they are stealing your money. They're taking all the money for the programs that you or your family needs. Because a lot of you all on Medicare. Or a lot of you all on Medicaid. Or your children are on Medicaid. Like 40% of all the children in America use Medicaid for health insurance. A lot of you all, the majority of people that get SNAP benefits, food assistance, are white Americans. Primarily white women with children. Food assistance, free breakfast, free lunch, housing vouchers, veterans benefits already been cut. And you defending this racist apartheid Nazi mentality, and you think that these billionaires won't come for your stupid ass? They may be sending the National Guard into D.C., and I know they want to send it into cities, all the cities that's got black mayors. But even you MAGA cult members, if you don't toe the line, if you don't kiss his ass, they will come for you quicker than they came for black folks. Because they despise you. Because they look at you, white MAGA cult members, and say to you, what's wrong with you? What's your problem? This system was rigged for white men, even though it was wealthy white male landowners. That's what they put in the Constitution. They didn't say anything about poor white men, peasants, as they used to call you in Europe. You know, the overseers. No, the overseers are out in the field with black folks. They were just terrorizing our African ancestors. But they didn't have shit either. There's only a handful of these Europeans that had enough money to own plantations and to be able to purchase black people. In the late 1700s, especially like the Irish, a lot of poor Europeans came here. They were indentured servants. That means they had to work. It's like if you want a place to stay, you want to eat, you got to work. That was how they got paid. That was their pay. What you want some work, you got to work for me. You want to eat, you want a place to stay. Just Google indentured servant. So just keep in mind, don't you celebrate, oh yeah, I think they should go to like all these Democrat cities. But just Google FBI, the top 10 most violent cities in America. Newsweek magazine already laid it out for you. States run by Republicans. I think Detroit came in number 6. New York is not on there at all. I think Chicago is like number 16. But the top 10 cities, Memphis, I think Little Rock, 2 cities in Ohio, all MAGA states with MAGA governors. But I don't see you sending no National Guard to anywhere in Ohio or Little Rock, Arkansas, where you got the MAGA governor. See, he's not doing that. This is all rooted in racism and to stoke racial hatred and to try to trip up black folks and trigger black folks to just really lash out and give him a justification to declare martial law and really send in the military. But you do understand there's something called the Posse Comitatus Act, not that he gives a shit about it. Google that. It bars federal troops from participating in civilian law enforcement, except for when it's clearly authorized by law. And it's not authorized just because you say it's an emergency, Orange Hitler, don't make it so. That's why Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, sued your ass, and that's why they were able to get the National Guard and the Marines up out of L.A., and the governor of Maryland, my man Wes Moore, who should run for president, was like, it ain't going down like that. You can get away with that shit in D.C. because it's a District of Columbia. It's a district. It's not a state. So the Constitution allows you to do things in D.C. You just can't run up in Maryland. And Governor Pritzker is like, you can F around if you want to in Illinois. Try him. Old money, real billionaire. Him and all of his sisters and brothers. The Pritzker family. Google the Pritzker family wealth. I think, was it Marriott? I think they had the Marriott chain. Old money, real billionaires. Not this little fake-ass billionaire that Orange Hitler is. But all of it is all a distraction. So, if you want to release something, release the Epstein files and then release those National Guard and send those 200 National Guard back to California because it's hurricane season. So, I hate to say it, but it's only a matter of time. And we are approaching the peak hurricane season. So you messing around, and Governor Henry McMaster, he's like, well, if the weather determines if there's a storm coming, we'll call him back. This is just a show. It's a racist ass show to appeal to racists, to stoke hatred and fear, and to get black folks out in the street en masse. No, we're going to be strategic with it. But I got a better plan. And I've said it before, and I'm going to end the show on this note. You want to get people's attention, even a racist mug. You want to get, because see, the billionaires is on some different shit. They know the poor, these poor and working class MAGA folks, they don't give a shit about them. They don't. That's why this bill they passed that's cutting all these benefits. There's going to be millions of poor and working class MAGA red hat wearing racist ass colonizers, Europeans, that's going to lose their health insurance. Their kids are going to lose health insurance. Medicaid, the ones that are disabled in wheelchairs and need oxygen, going to lose health insurance. A lot of them that's on Obamacare is going to lose their health insurance. Those that are in nursing homes, that got family members in nursing homes, their family members are going to get kicked out because they're going to either close the nursing homes, shut down, or they won't have the money. There'll be no Medicaid money to pay the nursing homes. So their ass is going to get kicked out. And all these red hat wearing rural Southerners, where your hospitals have been closing down and more hospitals are closing down. Where before you had to drive 45 minutes to an hour, if, God forbid, you had a heart attack or stroke or somebody in your family's having a baby, now you're going to have to drive 3 or 4 hours. Make America great again, yeah, and send them to National Guard because of all the crime that's going on. That's bull. It is a lie. It's a lie, and the truth ain't in you. And you can stick to the lie, like my grandmother said, you can stick to the lie, but the facts don't lie. And none of these cities that you named are in the top 10, not even in the top 15 of most violent cities in America. Not New York, not D.C., not Chicago, not L.A., not Oakland, but they all have black mayors. Pay attention, because he don't want you to talk about the Epstein files. Jeffrey Epstein, who was convicted, a child rapist, sex trafficker, for years. And for 10 years, while Jeffrey Epstein was raping young girls as young as 14 and teenage girls, and this girl, Miss Ghislaine Maxwell, who was in a maximum security prison. Orange Hitler moved her out to this like country club style prison in Bryan, Texas, because they don't want her to talk. But your own FBI, Donald Trump had 1,000 FBI agents to go through all the Epstein files. And then when they did, they was like, oops, who's gonna tell him that his name is all through the Epstein files? And Miss Pam Bondi, his attorney general, not to mention the guy that's running the FBI, they was like, oh yes, Pam Bondi said, I got the FBI file, I've got the Epstein files, they are on my desk. And then she said, I got the Epstein files and a client list. Then after all these FBI agents went through the Epstein files and saw Donald Trump's name all through the Epstein files, all of a sudden, Pam Bondi comes back, there's no client list, and I can't find the Epstein files. Where did they, I thought they were right here. My dog ate them. My cat peed on them, and the ink is just ruined. The housekeeping came and they threw them away by accident. I left my window open, and the wind blew the Epstein files, blew them away. Can't find them. Looked all in the White House, the front lawn. I can't find the Epstein files. That heifer is lying. She got the Epstein files, but they don't release him. Because Jeffrey Epstein, who was raping teenage girls as young as 14, said on record, you can find it on record, was interviewed. I forgot what magazine, one of these columnists that's big in New York City, told in an interview, said that Donald Trump was his best friend for like 10 years during the 90s, probably late 80s, 90s, all the 90s, going into the 2000s. That's what Jeffrey Epstein said on record. It's a recorded interview. You can probably find it right here. That's what he didn't want to talk about. And then he went to Anchorage, Alaska, and kissed Putin's ass. So now you got Brother Zelensky that's here from Ukraine, and these other European leaders. So President Zelensky was smart, because the last time he came, Trump and J.D. Vance's punk ass, they ganged up on him and double teamed him. And you better thank America and blah, blah, blah. So Zelensky said, I got you. He came with Prime Minister of France, Mr. Macron, Emmanuel Macron, and I think the head of Germany, Italy, the Prime Minister, the head of United Kingdom, Great Britain, Keir Starmer. Anyway, you had like 7 or 8 other European leaders of all these major European countries. It's like, no. What you're not gonna do, Orange Hitler, Felon 45, you're not gonna gang up on this dude. You and J.D. Vance with y'all punk ass, you're not gonna gang up on President Zelensky of Ukraine. No, we're not doing that. And the energy was entirely different. But anything but talk about the Epstein files. He will do anything. Trust me. He's going to continue to do all kind of shit to try to keep people from talking about the Epstein files. But I'm not. I'm going to try to talk about it every day. Even if I just say, release the Epstein files, Orange Hitler. Release the Epstein files, Donald Trump. You promised to do that when you were running for president this 3rd time. Release the Epstein files. Release the National Guard to go back home and release the Epstein files to the public. Release the Epstein files. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Chicago time, Central Time, 4:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles and Las Vegas, and everybody on the West Coast, 4:30 p.m. The Geno Jones Show has a new sponsor, The Geno Jones Show, brought to you by KojoLLC.com. As a matter of fact, I make sure I got that right. Kojo LLC, yes, KojoLLC.com. Courtney Johnson, she is the CEO of Kojo LLC. She is a real estate expert, and she is an expert in commercial insurance. That means if you need insurance for your business, she is the person. If you're looking for a new home, if you're looking to sell a home, Kojo, KojoLLC.com. And you can call her too. She sent me that number, and I'm going to read it to give it to you. 843-543-4022. 843-543-4022. 843-543-4022. 843-543-4022. Kojo, that's Kojo LLC. KojoLLC.com. All right, we'll see you Wednesday. Shout out to Markel Bailey. He is the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram, on IG. Kel be cutting up, KELBECUTTINUP. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check out Allie and her Lexi Jones collection out, LX.NCL underscores that little dash behind the second L. LX.NCL underscore. Big shout out to Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant and stylist for the show, the Mario Uomo collection. There it is. Can you see that right there? Bam. Mario, yeah. Mario Uomo on Instagram. Just, there you go right there. MARIOUOMO. Mario Uomo on Instagram. Man, he's got the fall winter collection. He's even got the spring collection of 2025, some pieces out. It's amazing. Thank you, Rick. Love you, brother. We'll see you on the show soon. Hey, Rosalind, thank you. Everybody else watching live today, thank you so much. Spread the word, call to action. 96 new subscribers will put us over 1,000. That means 1,000 new subscribers. We will officially become a YouTube partner. That means my media company will begin to get, I believe, like a monthly check. I'll start getting income from YouTube to support my media channel and my company. It is so important that we support Black-owned media now, because we are all we got, but we are all we need, and we got everything we need. I love you. We'll see you live Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Thanks.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.